everyone, this is Brit's Best, and today I'm going to be making veggie pot pies. This is my veggie pot pie buddy Andy. He's going to be helping me out today. So first thing I'm going to do is chop my potatoes for the pot pies. I just have 4 Yukon Gold potatoes. I'm just going to dice them up pretty thin here, just so they're nice bite-sized pieces for the pot pies. And then just toss them in the water so that they don't turn brown. Okay, so here's a tip. When you're cutting, hold your fingers like this with your knuckles out, and then use that as the guide for your knife, so you don't cut your fingertips.
So it's kind of up against the knuckle
Yep.
As a guide? Okay.
Good job, Andy.
Thanks.
So in our stock pot here, we have 12 tablespoons of butter. I know it seems like a lot of butter, but it is the base for our roux. And also 1 large yellow onion. It's diced pretty finely. We're just going to sweat the onions till they're translucent in the butter, and then we'll add our flour. Alright, so while my onions are sweating over medium heat, I have my potatoes cooking. I'm just going to cook them all the way, and then I'm going to blanch my other vegetables. So I just have my boiling water. I'm going to salt it really well. And I'm going to blanch my carrots first. I use baby carrots, but it's probably about 1.5 cups of carrots. So Andy, you want to dump it into the boiling water?
What does blanching do?
Blanching is just, we're going to cook the vegetables really quickly. We'll probably blanch the carrots for maybe 5 to 6 minutes, just because they're going to take a little bit longer.
Okay.
Just because it's not going to cook very much in the stew, so we want to make sure our vegetables are nice and done before we put them in with everything else in the pot. Alright, so we're just going to check if our potatoes are done. So I just like to scoop them up, just get like a few in the spoon, and just poke them with your fork. If it goes through nice, see it's nice and soft, that means they're done.
Awesome, very
So we'll turn off the heat.
Okay.
Alright, so my carrots are done blanching. I'm just going to take them out and put them into ice water. This is going to shock them, which is going to stop the cooking immediately and also set their nice bright orange color. Alright, so I'm going to get my vegetable stock coming to a simmer. I have 5 cups of vegetable stock. I'm just going to turn it up so that it starts heating up. Alright, so our broccoli is done. I'm just going to shock it too. It's really important to set any green vegetables in the shock bath so that they stay nice and vibrantly green. My onions are ready. I'm going to start my roux. So I have 12 tablespoons of butter in here that my onions have been sweating in. And I'm just going to have Andy add in. Just dump it all in at once.
Okay.
This is 3/4 cup of flour. Just all at once, and then with your wooden spoon, just stir it up. And get rid of all the white flour to make sure that we get all of it dissolved into the butter. My onions are still on medium heat. I'm going to let this cook for 4 to 5 minutes just to let my roux brown a little bit so it's not so white. I'm going to get it to a blonde state so that it has a little bit more richness of flavor. Just continue stirring it. You don't want your roux to burn or stick to the bottom of your pan.
This is where the thickness of the pot pie filling comes from, right?
And this is a pretty loose roux. Like when you make soufflés, your roux is really thick, and that's just because we don't want this to be so as thick as a soufflé would be.
Right.
It's kind of more of a soup rather than something so stiff.
Okay. Smells really good.
Yeah. It's going to continue smelling better as it browns. My roux has thickened up. It's gotten a little bit darker. What I'm going to do now is slowly add in my stock. So if you just want to, I'm going to try and do this as carefully as possible.
Keep stirring.
Yep, just keep stirring it in so all the roux gets incorporated into the liquid.
All right.
Alright, we're going to let this cook for another 5 to 7 minutes to let it thicken up a little bit, and then we'll add in our vegetables. our stew base has thickened up pretty nicely here. I'm just gonna add in the vegetables. So this is broccoli, carrots, and potatoes, and you can add in whatever vegetables that you want. Just make sure that they're blanched or cooked first. Just gonna dump these in. And then, Andy, if you just want to mix those into the sauce. So the next thing I'm going to do is get my puff pastry tops ready for my ramekins. So this is just frozen puff pastry. I've let it sit out, room temperature. It comes in 2 sheets. We're probably, hopefully, only going to need 1. So just softly unfold it. I have some flour down on my board so that it doesn't stick. Roll it out. Just the biggest thing is make sure that it doesn't stick to your board. So I'm just going to take one of my ramekins. This is what I'm going to put the pot pie in. So I just like to set it down just so I have something to kind of trace around. So this is just a ravioli cutter. You can use a pizza cutter too. So I just like to trace around the outside of the dough. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It's going to puff up in the oven. So see, it's just going to fit over it, just like that. Once the stew is inside of it, of course.
Alright, so I'm just cutting around for the little pastry topper there. Can I just set this one on top of the other one?
Yep.
Alright.
Wow, you got skills. Alright. I just want to let you know I salted and peppered as I went along. It just depends on the type of vegetable stock that you use. It could be saltier than another kind, so just taste it as you go along. So the next vegetable I'm going to add to this is corn. I have a cup of corn. I'm probably going to add 2 cups. And you can just add this like frozen from the freezer straight into the stew. The residual heat from the stew will cook the corn. So just stir it in really well. And then if you could grab the parsley, please. And then I just like to add some parsley in, just to, kind of a knife.
Yeah.
Thanks. Just to give it some fresh green color. So I just dice my parsley really fine. Just mix that in as well. So you can see it's nice and green, yellow. You can see all the vegetables in it. It's nice and pretty. The last thing I'm going to do is have Andy pour in some cream just to make it a little bit richer, so it's not enough already.
You the whole pint?
Nope, just pour it.
Okay.
I usually just kind of eyeball it. I don't really have an exact measurement.
So I'll let you tell me when to stop.
That's probably good right there.
Alrighty.
So that was probably, I don't know, 1/3 of a cup or so.
Yeah, sounds good.
So I'm just going to stir it in. Get that nice yucky blobby sound.
Are you hungry yet?
I'm just going to fill my ramekins with the stew. I like to fill them pretty full.
You want it really full because once you start eating these, you're not going to be able to stop. So save yourself a trip back up to the stove.
I'm going to make a little egg wash to put around the rim of our cups just to make the puff pastry stick. It's just an egg, and I'm going to use cream because, you know, we're already being bad. So it doesn't have to be perfect or pretty or anything like that. Just brush around the outside of the bowls.
So we're just gonna set the puff pastry on top. You know, just push down a little bit to seal it?
Yep, just push around on the outside of the ramekin just to seal it up.
And the egg wash will hold it down?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Alright, so we just cut tiny slit in the tops of all of these to let some steam escape when we're cooking them.
And then I'm just gonna brush on the egg wash, some egg wash on the top, just so that it'll get nice and golden brown. Pot pies are gonna go in the oven at 400 degrees for about 15 to 20 minutes. We're basically putting them in the oven only to cook the puff pastry. So as soon as you feel like that's ready, the pot pies are ready to come out because everything is already cooked inside. So,
Alrighty.
Andy could take them out of the oven for me, please.
Oh my goodness! Those are beautiful. Look how much they puffed up. Oh yeah. As the egg wash, we've got that nice golden brown crust on top. Some flaky fillings.
Most
Piping
important
hot.
thing is it good?
Oh man. Delicious, Brit.
Good. Thanks so much for watching. I hope y'all try this at home and see you next time on Brit's Best.